Welcome back to another episode of the Dope Sports Podcast, brought to you by DopeContent.com. You already know what it is. You see it on the screen. We're talking the latest in boxing. It's been a busy week in boxing. It started off in Tokyo on a Tuesday. With Inoue. Is that how you say it? Is that how you say it? Inoue?
Inoue, yeah.
Taking out Stephen Fulton. And then we got the fight hype. Everybody in Vegas for SPENCE and Crawford. And speaking of people in Vegas, you got Planet and the CHARLOs going at it. You got Bud going at it with random SPENCE people in his camp. You got the trainers going at it. You got Frank Martin going at it with Keyshawn Davis. You got Caleb Plant nailing CHARLO with a left hook. Jamal CHARLO with a left hook in the hallway. And then of course you had the main event, which is SPENCE versus Crawford. And then everybody woke up this morning and decided to be boxing analysts today. Everybody wanted to be a boxing analyst today.
Everybody was going for Crawford.
They can't name me more than 5 fighters, and 3 of them retired. But everybody want to be an analyst today this morning on Facebook. So this is really the reason we're doing this podcast now, because we noticed things. We was watching the fight together. We noticed things before the fight even started, and yeah, I'm real mad at myself for changing my pick. Like I let the hometown hero stuff change my pick last minute, and I should have just stayed with my original thought that I've been saying since 2018. I should have just stayed with my thought, but it is what it is. I let the hometown stuff come in, but shout out to Bud. And if you ain't seen it, man, I don't know what to tell you. You're not a real boxing fan if you ain't seen what happened already via social media or just watching it, period. But it's a lot to get into, man. You got people like Paul Pierce saying idiotic stuff.
Yeah, I can't wait to see this clip you got to show, because I have not watched this clip. Yeah,
you got Clarissa Shields, showing love to Bud. You got Stevenson and Haney going at it on Twitter, getting on my nerves, man. Because they're not gonna fight. Like Haney is moving up, and then he talking about, he talking about I'll be back down or one thing. No, you're not. Once you move up, you're not coming back down. Like shut up, bro. Yeah, you're not coming back down. So it's just a lot going on, man. But let's get into it. In Tokyo on a Tuesday, you got Inoue, because I don't know how to say his first name at all. But you got Inoue taking on Stephen Fulton, and they going for the WBC and the WBO bantamweight title in Tokyo. Shout out to Fulton for being bold enough to go over there. Because people always complaining American fighters don't go overseas, but they have. Spence done it, Mayweather done it, Shields done it. Like it goes on, but they still say, "Oh, America don't go overseas." Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
And Fulton went, but it didn't work out for Fulton like it did for Spence and Mayweather and Shields. 8-round TKO. Fulton just Inoue just dominated from jump. Showed and looked way too fast for this guy. So, what are your thoughts?
I believe he looked exactly how he looks against his other opposition in his country, and you usually don't see that translate. I'm gonna be honest here. As far as Asian fighters, a lot of them they do real good in their country, but then when they reach out and start going, like to Americans, like a lot of times they just don't seem to be the same fighter. You know what I mean? That's what I'm gonna say. It's something happens, and you don't see that same level of skill. Rarely do you see it translate over to this side of whether Pacquiao, Donaire, a few others. I've been able to translate that over. But I think Inoue, Truth. If we're gonna use the nickname Truth, I think he's because somebody got to take it.
We're gonna talk about the truth, because that's part of Paul Pierce's idiotic statement. But we're gonna get into that. Go ahead.
So he, I think that Stephen, Stephen went over there with the same boxing skills that he's just a boxer. He's a boxer, meaning he's good at the art of boxing. Meaning someone with lesser skills than him, he's gonna dominate because he's good at boxing. But he's not a boxer in the sense of I'm gonna go through the trenches. When I get in trouble, I'm gonna change and make a just. He's not a real, live in dirt boxer. He's good at the sport of boxing. Inoue is proving itself at this point in my eyes to be a real live boxer here. You have someone that's going to know how to make adjustments, someone that is going to impose his style of fighting regardless. What situation he's in, who he's going against, whatever, you finna have to deal with me. And that's why I think Inoue is like I was saying, I think he is second in my mind right now under Crawford due to what Crawford did last night. Inoue has to be second as far as boxing skills and his prospect of what he's going to be able to do in this sport of boxing. I think we're seeing a superstar in the making. I think we're seeing another Asian superstar, with the likes of a Manny Pacquiao. And I don't think I'm speaking too early on that. I think he really is the real deal. That's for real.
So didn't Pacquiao start off as a bantamweight as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you think he moves up to welterweight like Pacquiao did, or does he stop like at a lightweight?
He has the height to move up to welterweight. Now, as far as putting on the weight, he doesn't have a strong. Pacquiao has a little tank build. He can build muscle onto his frame, and it kind of fits with him. Inoue looks very slim, very Asian.
Pacquiao,
the slim build there, and I think you're right. I think he may stop at a lightweight, or if he goes past that, you may see diminished skills.
I don't know. Pacquiao was slim too. Pacquiao just had a big head, bro.
40-pound cat. It's a big old cat. So that's what I'm saying. I just think that a new way to now, folks. He can rebuild. He's young enough to come back. He's only with that 28-1 and with 8 knockdowns, something like that.
Yeah, 21-1 with 8 KOs.
Yeah.
And Inoue is 25-0 with 22 KOs.
That's true. But once again, I got to get it on the overseas fighters when they have the stacked record without those knockouts. You rarely see that translate to when they start fighting American fighters. So let's see what happens after Fulton. Who's next? Let's just see what happens. Right now, the prospects are all over the place. I don't want to speculate, but yeah, I think Fulton can bounce back. But I think we definitely saw his limitations to his skill, period, and to his confidence. Because once he started getting starts, he didn't have even the heart, I feel, to come back. He can blame it on the time change or something like that. I don't know, but I just think he didn't have skill.
Yeah, man. I didn't know what to expect from that fight, honestly, because I've only seen both guys fight like 2 times each.
I knew what to expect.
So I didn't know what to expect from that fight. I knew it. Inoue had a speed advantage, but I didn't know what Fulton was gonna, be able to do with that speed. But it was a dominant performance, man.
Everybody was saying Fulton was gonna win because they're used to American fighters that look like Fulton, that box like Fulton, winning. Just like I said though, sometimes you can be good at the sport of boxing. You can get in there and you can make it look good. But when it comes time to get in the trenches and make some real decisions, your decision probably gonna be, I'm gonna cash on out here. Because you ain't got, you ain't willing to die in that ring or willing to find a way to get past this opposition. You're more willing to say, well, it didn't work tonight. I'll try again.
Do you think Fulton tries to get a rematch with this guy?
Nope. I think just to make people, take notice, he may ask for a rematch. He don't want no rematch. He does not want to. He actually wants to move past this and try to build up on something else. He does not want a rematch with this guy. So you don't want to get embarrassed by the Asian dude twice.
So who will be next for Fulton then? If he wanted to do something else, does he need to lead a weight class or what?
No, he needs to stay in his weight class, and he needs to go for, even though he's 21-1 with only 8 knockouts, so he needs to be fighting fighters that have less than 15 fights. Seriously, he needs to fight fighters that have less than 15 fights, and he needs to go for some fighters that have a few losses so he can build his confidence back up. I think his next 2 fights should either be against prospects that really don't have that much prospect in them, or he needs to fight a fighter that has at least maybe 3 losses and that's kind of on his way out a little bit, so you can try to build his confidence up. He does not need to fight a journeyman because the journeyman likes to expose people like folks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that would be a big mistake to go against a journeyman who would be like, hey, I don't lost 5, but I ain't losing this one tonight. You know what I mean? You don't need to do that. Kind of like what happened to Raleigh. You know what I mean? You don't need to do that right there. he needs to fight against somebody that's either going to be a prospect that doesn't really have that much prospect in him, or he needs to fight somebody with a couple losses on their way out that's willing, someone that he knows he can break that mental. Because right now he needs to build up his mental. Because I saw his mental get broken in that fight, not off of over beating him, but his inability to stop this.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I saw happen there.
Yeah, man. It was nothing he could do. He was playing. He was just too fast, man.
You know what I'm saying? When the guy started playing with him,
yeah,
that's when I say, oh, your mental is getting taken out.
Yeah,
right now, because all what you did in America is getting exposed here tonight.
That was almost Floyd Gotti level.
Yeah. Let me see. Hold up. How old is Fulton? Let me just see right quick.
Yeah.
Fulton is okay. I know. Anyway, it's 30. So Fulton got to be younger than 30
already.
Yeah, I know. Hey, cause shoot, you've been over there fighting. Another thing, a lot of foreign fighters, they have long amateur careers sometimes too, and they come out when they like 25 and stuff like that instead of like a younger age. Kind of like what happened to Lomachenko, I believe. You know what I mean? Cause remember when we was at the Lomachenko fight, the last one, him and Devin Haney.
Yeah.
I was so surprised at how many fights Lomachenko has. I was like, he only had like 19 fights. I'm like, how is this possible? And they were saying he was the best one. I'm like, how is this possible? That's because they spend a lot of time fighting amateur fighters, and that's what I think they build up their reputation mostly. Let me see. Stephen Fulton is 29 years old. Nah, man. Okay, I changed everything I just said.
So
Stephen
what now?
Fulton, you can't teach old dog new tricks.
He's 29.
29, yes. And I'm sorry, but 29 is where you're supposed to be at least established, and this is the way I box. This is how I get down. You can't change it. Maybe you can, but it's going to be hard to change that mentality. I think now they just need to work on his confidence thing. Well, I don't know. Everything about the prospect and everything is out the window with me.
How old was Lennox Lewis when he switched to Emmanuel Stewart?
Oh, good point. He had to be. Hold on, Chris. I'm just doing something real fast.
Yeah, look that up for me.
Hold on. Lewis.
Yeah, because Lennox Lewis, Emmanuel switched him up big time.
1997. He's 1997. Hold on, let me see that. Dang, they ain't got the X's on here. I'm trying to look that real fast. It happened in 1997.
He switched in 97?
Yeah, that was Europe, because after that fight, he switched to Emmanuel. So he switched in 97. Just trying to see if they can tell me how old he is, period.
He was born in 65. And you said that happened in 97?
Yeah, I'm not even embarrassed myself. Let me get my calculator out there.
He was 32 years old. You can't teach your old dog new tricks if he's willing to learn.
He had Emmanuel Stewart too.
Okay, find another trainer that's worth something. And how old?
Emmanuel Stewart didn't have to do that much. He just taught him how to fight tall.
Because he went to Klitschko as well.
Yeah, that's all he did.
So how old was Klitschko?
He had to be younger when he got Klitschko. He got Klitschko right after Klitschko lost to, I want to say, right after he lost to Lamont Brewster. Man, here I go again. Hold on,
See, look, it got you Googling the whole night. Yeah.
Right after he lost to Lamont Brewster, after he went to Klitschko Brewster. Klitschko versus Brewster. Okay. Oh, I just do like this. Yeah.
And while you doing that, one thing that I noticed about Inoue was he was using that jab to the body, Floyd Mayweather like jab to the body the whole night. And when he finally caught him with that right, it's because Fulton was feigned down trying to get ready to block that jab to the body, and there was a 1-2 combination. Jab to the body feint, overhand right. Just like what Sugar Shane actually did to Floyd in the second round with the feint jab to the body and overhand right when he caught him. But he set him up the whole night with the jabs to the body. And that's just something that I don't see a lot of. Like, I really haven't seen anybody do it since Floyd, you know, until Tuesday, I should say. That's weird saying a fight on Tuesday. That's just
yeah, you're right about that though. But those combinations, you are right. But a lot of those kids are taking a lot from Floyd nowadays because they trainers are implementing that up in there. So it's not strange for him to use that. He became his trainer. Hold on, let's see. Ending at 20. Man, I thought I just had it, man. Hold on.
This is Vitali, right?
No, Vladimir. He was Vladimir's trainer. He trained Vitali, but he wasn't in the corner for his fights. Hey, don't tell me, man. Hold on.
Look, I'm struggling trying to type this fool name.
Oh yeah, there it is. We started training him in 2004. So he started training him in 2004, and they fought 17 fights together. That's a lot of time to get somebody together. So 2004 is when he fought him. How old is Klitschko? Now we got to do the Klitschko age now.
Yeah, I'm trying to find his age now. When was he born? 1976.
2004, how old was that?
He was 28.
I was just going to say that. I had to be 28 because we're the same age then. All right, yeah.
Yeah. So he was 28. So again, just 1 year older, dog. You just got to find a better trainer, dog.
But now, hold on. But like I'm saying again, he did not have that much to train. He just, okay, with Klitschko, he actually changed his whole style.
Okay.
Let me regroup.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, he changed his whole style because he was like, I was a kickboxer. Oh yeah, okay. So It's never too late. But I don't have any faith in Fulton. Please forgive me for that, Fulton. But I really feel like there can be a few adjustments made to your game, but as far as a whole overload of your game, I don't think it's possible right now because I'm pretty sure, like most boxers nowadays, you're not in it to be 40 years old and fighting. You're probably thinking 36 and I'm out, like most fighters are thinking. So in my world, you got less than 10 years to learn a new style and implement it and become greater than what you are. I don't know. I mean, it's possible, but I don't know because the two fighters that we named that it was possible for had the same world star trainer that became known for reinventing fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's what I'm saying, and he ain't around no more. So I don't know, man. Teddy Atlas is out there, but I'm pretty sure. Nah, it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. I'm done.
Well, we'll see, man. I think I still think he got time to change something up.
I do hope that you can prove me wrong, and I can eat crow on that one.
Yeah, I still think he got time, but we'll see what's next for Fulton and Inoue. I'm gonna learn how to say his first name one day.
Inoue, if you go out and get knocked out the next fight after I done pop you up like you tripping, man.
Yeah.
All right, stick with it.
Yeah. So moving on, we're now moving on to Vegas Fight Hype Week. You got the weigh-in, which it was a respectable build up. The whole time really, up until Friday.
Yeah. Man, everybody was civil, and I thought it was gonna end that way.
And look, it was, and Spence was still civil. Spence was just chilling, but it was his camp running their mouth in the audience, and Bud put a different look on his face. He had a different look, a different vision, and I even got on Facebook and said I think Spence camp might have got Spence messed up in this fight.
I'm glad you said it. I'm glad you said it because I was saying my whole issue was, I think this is what Crawford's half of his issue was too. My team is getting rowdy. My crowd is getting rowdy. I'm controlling them. Mm-hmm. Your team is getting rowdy, and you ain't doing nothing.
He just sitting there.
And I ain't, come on, bro. Show some leadership here, man.
Yeah.
Tell your people to chill out, man. It's me and you fighting, not them in the crowd.
Yeah.
And when he said that to Spence's people, what did they do in response?
They just got louder, and Spence was sitting there. See, man, you too emotional, but hold on, Spence. In 2019, when y'all met face to face in the hallway, and Bud had his homie yapping, What you tell his buddy? You doing all this talking? I'm talking to him. This is between us. You need to shut up.
Exactly.
That's exactly what Bud telling your homie right now.
Yes, he did.
So how you gonna say Bud is too emotional when you did the exact same thing in 2019? And then Bud actually put his hand on his homie. He was like, "No, you focus on me," and told his homie to chill out.
Yeah.
And Bud called it. In 2019, he said, "Now when I stop him, y'all gonna say, oh, he's at 147 too long. He's drained. He's weak." He called it to the team.
They're saying that.
Yeah, that's exactly what's being said. But before we get to the actual fight, it's a lot of stuff went down in Vegas. Man. Vegas was crazy, man. Like this was a big week. You got Frank Martin pulling up on Keyshawn Davis, and Keyshawn basically Frank came up to him like a man, was like, "Hey man, we can fight. Yes, we want to fight. We can fight." Cameras there. Keyshawn like whatever, set it up. Then they asked Frank first, "What do you think, about the fight?" Frank was being respectful. "Oh man, it'd be a good fight. These are two good fighters." They asked Keyshawn, he say, "I think I'll F Frank up." Honestly. So Keyshawn a dog, bro. That's my guy, dog. Keyshawn is a dog. And y'all know Keyshawn and Bud and Shakur, all of them, they in the camp. They go together. All of them dogs. So
I think that's the culture of their gym.
Yeah.
You know what
they all say we get active.
And they call out people, and then when you put the spotlight on me, then I'm gonna give you a show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's mostly what you see.
Yeah.
I think Keyshawn is definitely showing himself to be the talker of the group. You know what I mean? Like he can really talk. He can trash talk. He's articulate. You know what I mean? So I definitely see him using his mouthpiece to get his position and to make more money. Like in this game, all he has to do is win.
And winning this, I'm not even worried about him winning. Did you see his last fight?
Yeah.
You see his counterpunching? His counterpunching is very similar to Bud Crawford.
Yes, it is.
And
his confidence is very similar to Bud Crawford.
And they both got power.
Mm-hmm.
Like Keyshawn is a dog, man, and I'm glad that he's finally, they starting to put eyes on him like they should have been doing a long time ago. Even though Keyshawn was telling Frank, they been knowing me. We just met you. Like Keyshawn talking noise, man. Like, hey,
Keyshawn got 9 fights. All right. Frank Martin got 18.
He only got 9?
9 fights when I'm looking at the box record right now. Unless I'm looking at an out-of-date box record. I don't think I am. Last fight, in July 22nd, Pantera. Yeah, he got 9 fights.
Man, it felt like he had more fights in there, but okay.
It do. It really did. I like when you said that. When he said that they already know me, I'm thinking, yes, I had to look at it. Wait a minute.
Well, it's because of the Olympics.
Yeah. He got 9 fights. Frank Martin got 18. Frank Martin got 12 KOs. Keyshawn got 6. So, I mean, let me look at the age of it. Age, Frank Martin is 28 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Keyshawn is 24.
Mm-hmm.
So we in range, man. Can't nobody call nobody old. Can't nobody say nobody's washed up. Frank Martin, to be 28 years old, they still telling me that you getting your career started. That's how you end up looking at fighters like Crawford and Spence going, man, they already in their late 30s.
33, 35.
Yeah. Because it takes a while to build up. While, when you have other stars on top, it takes a while to get that shine away from a Canelo, from a Mayweather. You know what I mean? It takes a while for that shine.
Well, Spence wasn't active enough. Like Bud tried to fight everybody, and he dealing with promoters and stuff holding him back.
Top rank, yeah. He was stuck fighting top ranked fighters. So that's his only issue was he was stuck fighting top ranked fighters. And I don't know what Bob Arum wasn't able to see in him to get him out there. But even when he left Bob Arum was acting like you finna go get your ass whooped. You know what I mean? That's not finna happen.
Yeah.
It's not finna. I mean, he was really acting like Bud finna go out and go get whooped or something, man. Like he didn't want to even deal with Bud. And I was like, I don't understand how you can leave all that money on the table, especially being a person that's been in the game cheating people as long as Bob Arum has. You would think he'd be like, I know exactly what I got here. I'm gonna keep this money, But no, he didn't, man. So okay, let me get off there. But with Keyshawn Davis and Frank Martin, being at the age they are, Keyshawn look a little bit better, but 9 fights at 24. I don't, how come we fighting here, man?
It got to be within the next year or two.
Let me just do a quick thing here. He fought 2 times this year right here. That to me, that's good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If he fights one more time this year, that's 3 fights in 1 year. I think there's nothing wrong with that. You can even squeeze in 4 if he was a fight. I guess at the end of the year, a fight like sometime in September.
Don't do 4. Just stop it at 3.
In 2022, he did 3. In 2021, he did 4. So he started off doing 4 fights, 3. So it looks like 3 is the magic number right now, which is going to tell me that by the time he gets to a point where we really recognize him, he's going to be at 2 fights a year. And then he's going to go down to 1. See, I don't like that, man. I think to be a good fighter, you got to stay active. Yeah. What happened to Errol Spence? 2 years off, I don't care what you say, it played a part in that. It played a part. I don't care what you say. I don't want to diminish at all what Crawford did last night. But 2 years off, it's got to be somewhere in there.
Yeah, we gonna get to Spence in a minute. So if they did fight, let's say within the next year or so, who you got, Keyshawn or Frank?
Right now, judging off what I've seen right quick, I'm about to go with Frank. I'm not impressed by flash. I'm not impressed by skills that are on their way of developing. I think Keyshawn Davis, by me seeing their records now, I would personally like Keyshawn to get a couple more fights in before he can beat a Frank Martin. I really do think that I really do think Keyshawn can beat him. But if I was to go with my thinking mind right now, let's say they were to fight, their next fight is going to be each other. Let's say they fight in November. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have to go with Martin right now. That's just because, and I would have to let Keyshawn impress me and whoop Martin so I can go, oh, Keyshawn's the absolute truth. Right now, I'm saying Keyshawn's the truth. He's the future. But I think a person like Martin right now can be a deterrent to him. I don't care. That's just what I see right now. And he's southpaw. Keyshawn is orthodox.
Okay. I'm telling you now, Keyshawn is going to win. If they fight, Keyshawn is going to handle him.
I believe if they fight right now, they will not.
I bet he will.
This time next year.
Right now.
Keyshawn has about 2 more fights. I don't see Keyshawn lose.
He don't need 2 more fights.
A little bit more on his belt. You don't think 9 fights?
Give him one more. Give him 10 fights, so he'll be at 10. One warm-up fight, right. And then Frank Martin, and he's gonna take him out.
You're very confident.
Yes, I've been watching Keyshawn for a while.
So you already leaning Keyshawn direction.
Yeah, for a while, and then talking to him.
Frank Martin fights.
Okay. I mean, he nice. I ain't saying he ain't nice. He nice.
He ain't bad.
But anybody right now, that's coming up as well. Let me say that. That's in that same little area with Keyshawn right now. I think you match him up with Keyshawn is gonna be the end of him.
I think we know about Frank Martin because I think we know about Frank Martin is mainly because, and ain't because Errol Spence didn't promoting him well. It's because of Keyshawn calling him out.
That's what I'm saying.
Just be honest. You know what I mean? So yeah, I do feel what you're saying, but I think that also plays a part in your bias. Because you know more about Keyshawn and you know about this guy called Keyshawn. You might not think that much of Frank Martin. You know what I mean?
Frank is nice, bro. I'm just saying, right. We're gonna get into Crawford, but Crawford and Crawford and Keyshawn, bro, they so similar in my opinion, dog. And I'm telling you, bro. We know what Crawford is.
Yeah.
All right. And then come on now. You know what Shakur is. Come on now.
Go Mac. Changed my mind last night. Remember, I don't know if you remember the start of the fight. I was like, I just ain't too good on Bo Mac as a trainer. That's what I was tripping on last night. He changed my mind a little bit because
he's better than the trainer of the year. Let me say that.
I don't want to admit that, man.
Yeah. I told you last night.
Yeah. And ain't Frank Martin being trained by Derrick James? Or is he just
I don't know.
Yeah, that one I don't know neither. So let me not speak. That I don't know if they're even in the same gym.
I hope not. I hope not.
If they're in the same gym, like we said the other night, he's in the gym with Ryan Garcia.
Bro, and
Anthony Joshua.
It was so many common sense factors that I knew better not to change my pick, and I just couldn't. The hometown thing just kicked in for me, bro. I'm so mad at myself about that. But moving on, we got to go back to one fight too before we go to this because we didn't get to talk about it. Now that I'm thinking about it, but let's continue with the Vegas and the build up. Vegas, Caleb Plant left hook to CHARLO for no reason. Well, I don't know. Well, I guess it was a reason because you don't just hit nobody for.
It was a good reason in my mind.
What happened?
I don't know exactly what happened, but what I heard was that what made the slap happen was because CHARLO, in their banter back and forth, reached out and grabbed this man by the chin.
See, I saw two videos.
Put your hand on another man's face like this, man, and come on, bro, you can't grab him. It's not. I'm doing it because it's how I feel. You can't grab a man and shake his face like that, dog.
I saw two videos, and I saw when CHARLO first walked up to him, and then that video kind of, went away, and then that was it. Like, then the next one was the slap.
Because when he did that right there, he thought, I'm CHARLO. I can do this to you while we talking, living back away. But he forgot. I never seen him do it. My favorite move in the world.
Left hook.
I'm gonna catch you slipping left hook. You know what I mean?
He tried it with Canelo.
Catch him slipping.
Yeah.
Canelo was like, "Cause I've been watching your video. I already know you're gonna come with this left hook." Now it's you know what I mean? But CHARLO, and it was to me, it definitely was the wrong CHARLO to do that too, because the right one would have been the one that's been, that's at home getting tested by Vada right now. He would have tore the whole building down. It wouldn't have been no fight.
Yeah.
By the time he finished up. So that's why I'm just like, he did it to the wrong one because the right one would have gave him the answer he was looking for when he got that slap out. And then told him, get some, like, just because you from Tennessee, man, you acting like a volunteer in this mud. Get some. I was like, God dang.
And CHARLO just kind of shoved it off at first. Then they got outside and he's chasing them outside.
I didn't see the chase part.
Well, yeah, he was trying to get to him outside, but this when security and all them and got to him by then.
Bravado right there.
Yeah, like this. And then his lady got into a fight with another chick and got beat up, bro.
His lady's beating up.
No, that was his lady beating.
Current wife beating up his baby mama.
Oh my God. That was his current wife.
No, okay. It was either the baby mama, somebody's ex-wife was getting whooped. One of the brothers' ex-wife was getting whooped. It
had to be his.
By the other brother's baby mama.
Why are they fighting?
I think because because the breakup was nasty, man, and the chick really tripped out. So his brother and his family hate the lady. I seen him do an interview about it. His brother talked real bad about the chick right in front of him. You know what I mean? Like she's trash, man. Like he basically, I hate this chick. So it's only natural that his wife or his baby mama feels the same. You know what I mean? If he's hurting the family. So that's who was beating her butt. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Jeez. All right, well, let's move on.
She had her on the floor.
On the ground.
The legs kicking up.
It was too much going on in Vegas, dog. But before that.
Nice though, man. But hold on. Caleb Plant, for real though, boy, you got 2 losses, man. You can do a lot of that, talking right there. You real quick. He's a good boxer. He even come from the Crunk Gym, you know what I mean? He's a good boxer, man. But at the same time, I think you knew who you was dealing with too.
You hit the one that was dealing with mental issues.
Yeah. I definitely think you knew who you was dealing with because I just something in my mind tells me no matter what, if somebody grabbed his face or not, there's a few people he wouldn't have done it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just really feel that way. Now I can't rattle him out, but he wasn't doing that to Canelo. He tried it with Canelo, but he tried it with Canelo on some sneak stuff. Like they both been talking, and he just going all out swing. So to me,
that's when he lost the fight.
Yes, and see, I always got something like a little in the back of my mind, a little bit of hate for Caleb Plant, because I think that if there's a dishonest way to get to it, he'll do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he's in the ring with you and he can get away a couple of dirty shots without the ref seeing, or he gonna do it all night. And I don't know about that. You know what I mean? I don't know about that.
Yeah, I like Caleb. He put up a great fight his last fight, man. He's a real good boxer, but yeah, he tried to get you with that left when you ain't paying no attention.
Just come quick, man.
Yeah, and he caught Charlo real nice. It looked like Charlo ducked right into it.
Well, yeah, he did. Yeah, he actually ducked right into it. My thing is, why has everybody played that clip like 1,000 times in that video? That's all you hear was.
Yeah,
like everybody just playing it.
You don't expect another boxer to just straight up hit another boxer, but this, you should have known a Charlo was gonna get into it with somebody during a Spence fight. Yeah, like that's what they do.
See, Charlo people was finna run up and then change their mind. Like one of the dudes was like, "Hey, you better run it." He was like, "Hold on, now I want to get snapped too." You know what
I mean, because you run up on a professional boxer, dog. You don't want to do that if you're not trained.
That bodyguard was pissed though. I was pushing him back. He was mad.
Yeah,
he probably mad because I'm finna get fired tonight because I missed that.
I let this man get close enough to hit you on camera on the biggest fight weekend of the year.
Ain't no use having me around, man. Yeah. Ain't no use having me around. No, so, yeah.
But before we get to the main event, we got to talk about Alicia Baumgartner getting her revenge on what's her name, Christina.
There you go.
What's her last name?
Hold on, I know exactly what you're talking about, but I don't want to mess it up. I'm gonna be honest with you. Some of these opponents, man, is
start with an L. Is it Leonard?
Hold on.
Leonard. Hey, what's her last name, bro? Christina. It's something with an L.
Christina Leonardo.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Alicia Baumgartner. I always call her Alicia. It's Alicia Baumgartner. Got her. Got her revenge on her at good fight, but I told you off stream when we was at SportsCon, and we go get this is gonna tie down to Spence. I think it's time for a new trainer.
Yes.
For Alicia.
Her trainer is the boxer. What's his name? Dude that just got he
I don't know
Charlo,
his name.
and then he lost the belt to Charlo. Tony Harris or something like that. First name Tony, I know that for a fact. He's a former boxer. He just retired himself because he got beat in his last fight real bad by Caleb Plant, wasn't it?
Don't give me the line, bro. I don't remember.
Her trainer is he's a former boxer. I know that for a fact. Hold on, I'm just going to it. Either way,
but
I'm very glad she got her revenge. But just like you, I'm starting to see stuff like if there is some changes made, she's gonna fall into that woman boxer thing where her skills are not gonna improve, and then when she go against somebody who is like her, that's part of the new generation, she's gonna get whooped. So hold on, let me see right there.
Yes, because the thing is, like, I didn't like what he was telling her, and then the fact that the lady you fighting already beat you, and she's fresh off a baby. This is her first fight. I don't know why she took that. I don't know why she took that as the first fight without a warm up fight.
I beat her before, and I think I can do it again.
Yeah, but Christina's the older lady coming off a baby, and you go right in the ring with the champ, with the fastest rising star, one of the biggest names in women's boxing, who was looking for revenge. So that just wasn't a smart thing to do, and she still was catching her with some good shots.
And she would have won. Like we both said it, she would have won that fight if she had more time to really get up her body together. His name is Tony Harrison. He lost to Charlo. His last fight. Dang, I thought I pulled it up. I didn't pull it up. Tony Harrison, boxer. His last fight, man. He just lost it, man. See, the Charlo beat him. There it is, box rec. Here it is. Tim Katsuzu.
Oh, okay.
That's what that last fight he just had. That was Tony Harrison. He beat the one he just clowned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And took his belt. Okay, so
but Tony was telling her stuff like making it seem like she was just running away with the fight, and that's when he lost me. And I was like, okay, if this is how he's talking to her, when this fight is closer than what he's saying, like, if you're gonna lie to your fighter, I don't care how good of a trainer you are. If you're gonna lie to your fighter, that's when I'm all right. Bye. You need another trainer because they're lying to you. This is the greatest performance in women's boxing history. No, it's not. No, that's a close. That was a close fight.
We both said he was gassing her up on close fight. He wasn't telling her things like what
adjustments.
Like what Bo Mack told Terence Crawford against Sean Porter.
Yeah.
Remember, he was like, hey,
"You losing?
You losing this fight." You know what I mean? You gotta go out there and do something. You know, even if the fight is too close to you as a trainer, if this is just too close.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell my fighter, hey man, you both likely lost that round, you know, or you edged it, but either way, you left it up to the judges. You need to get out there and clap.
Yeah.
I think that he could have told her, we need to do this a little bit more impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to tighten up a little bit more. Tony Harrison is training her how he fights. Meaning he can show up in the moment, but then at certain times he doesn't know what to do. Like he beat Charlo that first time, right? Charlo was having a bad day, he really was. But then Tony Harrison got I'm prolific name. Tony Harrison gets to talking so much lip.
Yep.
Like as if he came in there and clown.
Mm-hmm.
Mirrors what you just said about what he was telling her during the fight.
Yep.
He's training her like he fights with his mentality of, you know, I don't know, man. But
and then the whole, you know, your fighter wears herself down throwing nonstop power punches. She literally has to take 2 or 3 rounds off every fight because she's exhausted after a round of just nonstop punching. You got her standing up. Okay, you doing a George Foreman thing, but you see her exhausted, and she started to get caught with shots during that fight, and he's telling her to keep coming forward, keep doing it. And I'm like, bro, she's tired, bro. You got to switch it up at least. Hey, this round, you know, box on the outside some more. Use your jab, get your win, but still get some points. Like, something. And he still had it, bro. She was exhausted, bro. And every fight that I've seen her in, she was exhausted at one point of the fight. At multiple points of the fight, she wears herself down with nothing but power punching. It's like when George Foreman fired his managers or his trainers against Ali, they told him to keep punching. When George was like, I'm out, I'm done. And they just kept telling him to keep going. Yeah, so that's what he's telling her. And I'm like, hey, look, George fired his people for it. You might want to move on yourself. So.
I think she has to go with somebody that trains greats. Tony Harrison can be a good person to teach you how to box. That's the level here, but he's not a champion trainer just yet. He just happens to have a champion in her. But she needs to go with somebody that has champions, that knows how to work with fighters as they grow and as they, you know what I mean, get a little bit older and go against different opposition. Who I don't know why I can never remember this man's name, but the dude that trains Clarissa Shields really knows how to train women boxing. You know what I mean?
I suck with trainer names. I can't lie, bro.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
I see their face and I'm like, yeah, I know him.
He used to have a ponytail back in the grip. You know what I mean? I really do believe that man knows how to train women boxers to really stand out from the crowd. Because when he took over from her first trainer, the skill level that she obtained, like in the past 4 years, it's just been ridiculous, man. I think that she needs somebody like that. I don't know if it's gonna be, can't be that guy probably, but she needs somebody like that just knows how to get in there and forget she's a woman and see a boxer in front of her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the trouble we got. And the person that she just beat, man, I'm telling you, look for them.
If they fight again, it's gonna be it's gonna be a.
I think that she might be able to get into position to get a rematch, man. You know what I mean? She just have about 2 or 3 good fights. That's it.
Really, she just need one good fight because that fight was close.
Yeah, but people gonna.
And she already.
Some might start running because it might be time to gain some weight. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Never know.
She better.
I think
she don't want to fight her again.
She really won that fight. I think she knows deep down for real she really won.
And I love Alicia Baumgartner, but she better tread lightly on that one.
Yeah, I want her to be a big star too, but we got to stick with the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So let's get into the main event. Finally, we got Errol Spence getting dominated by Terence Crawford, man. Shout out to Terence Crawford, man. You just, again, I'm so mad at myself, dog. Cause I'm really mad at myself because all this time, because we had plenty of conversation. I had the same thought. Spence is not ready for Bud. I kept saying it. Spence is not ready for Bud. We said it for years. And then as the fight came, they announced it. I was like, Spence ain't ready for Bud. I kept saying it. Once they signed the contract, Spence ain't ready for Bud. But literally like a month or the last 3 weeks before the fight, I was just like, You know what? Spence is younger. Let me tell you what my common sense went out the window, and this is how I thought the fight was going to play out. I said Spence is 2 years younger, right? Spence is the bigger guy. At least we thought he's the naturally bigger guy. Spence was supposed to be the most powerful guy out of the two, which it did not turn out that way. But coming in the fight, everybody thought Spence was the most powerful guy. So this is what I thought was going to happen. Bud comes out with his normal slow start, just trying to figure the guy out, right? And while he's doing that, Spence is using those rounds to steal it. He's stealing about 3 or 4 rounds with body shots and pressure, right? So I'm like, okay, Spence is going to at least get about 3 rounds early. Then Bud is going to turn it up because Bud is just a better boxer. It's just what it is. We all know this. Bud's going to get his rounds in, but at the end of the day, Spence already stole a couple of rounds, and the body punching and the weight and all that was going to eventually wear out on Bud. And I thought Spence was going to win just by will.
Yeah.
Will and power. I thought his will and power was going to be enough.
As a powering through him.
To get it, kind of like him and Porter.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be just enough to edge him out.
Porter to me was the better fighter that day.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You already know how I feel about
but again, Spence caught him, and then they just worked each other, and that's what I thought Spence was gonna do. That was my mindset when it changed. But leading up to the fight, man, common sense, dog. I should have just kept with my common sense because Spence ain't fought in over 2 years. Well, 2 years. That's one. No warm-up fight, which is stupid to do when you about to fight somebody like Bud.
Refuse the warm-up fight.
Yeah. He's been sitting down. We know he drink. We know he smoke. He said it himself. We smoke Bud and it's legal in Vegas. Yeah, you like you was high during the fight. But
took a couple gummies.
Yeah, we go get into that. So, and then again, you're not the better boxer. And Crawford, and then on top of that, let's keep adding just the common sense factors. I even said it myself, like we talked about earlier. I think Spence Camp got him messed up because Bud was chilling. And then on Friday night, or Friday, I should say, he had a different look in his eyes just because Spence Camp was running their mouth.
Yeah. So really, when he told him to chill out and they didn't chill out, he said, "What did y'all say?" And then when he looked back, there was a whole different look on his face. Like, all right, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, he totally changed.
I'm about to show you something for real because this is my boy. We just trying to make history and money here.
Yep.
But now y'all running y'all mouth and y'all think it's sweet over here.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, bro, I'm looking at Bud's face the whole time. Spence just looked the same. Spence didn't even want to stay face to face with him.
No, he didn't. Not one time did he want to do that.
Yeah, and Bud just had a different look. Normally Bud would start smiling and, talking to him, which they did later on, shake each other's hand, dap each other up and all that. But at that moment, after he got into it with his camp, and the look on his face was like, I'm about to F him up, and it's gonna be y'all fault.
Yes.
I got on Facebook and said it. I think Spence Camp just got Spence messed up. And I still didn't change my pick back to Bud like an idiot, bro. The hometown hero just really got me, dog. Because common sense, with all these factors, said Bud was going to just destroy him.
And that's what I saw. I didn't want to... I've always had a certain thing about Spence. I'm going to let you finish. Go ahead.
Yeah, so, I mean, and I like both of them. Y'all know I like Bud and Spence. Like, I really didn't care who won. I just wanted to see a great fight, but we didn't even really get a great fight. Bud made him look average, dog. And he really exposed a lot about Spence some stuff we already knew. The flat foot, the lunging in, and the jab and the overhand hook combo that he always do, but he's lunging in. That defense though, like, I knew his defense wasn't that great, but I didn't know it was that bad.
I kept saying he takes too many punches.
Look,
I've seen him do that combo and then kind of almost just let a dude, you know what I mean, as he gets back into position.
Yeah.
So good.
And I went back and, before we did this is why we going on late and recording late. I watched videos of Spence fights. Just when all the times he got tagged. And it was always the same way Crawford tagged him last night on that right, that snuck.
Same way Danny Garcia caught him.
The same way Porter caught him. Like,
same way
it's the jab, and he's lunging in head first. Mm-hmm. And he's getting caught every time when he's throwing a left hook. Every time. Yeah. So, yeah, man, it's just common sense. And then just looking at Spence in the locker room. When Spence walked in the arena, he just looked zoned out. His eyes, they didn't like Spence, bro.
His eyes look lower than what they normally were. All that can be attributed, it can truthfully be attributed to
dehydration,
trying to make weight. Yeah, basically all that, because the telltale signs in his face, they're on the skin. Mm-hmm. But that's something you're used to doing. You know what I mean? You are used to going through this, and this is the biggest fight of your life. I think that we're gonna have to stay closer to the fight weight to make sure we don't go through this right here. You know, we're gonna have to do some changes to make sure we approach this fight differently. I think that he did this fight like he does normally every championship fight. As far as preparation goes, he might have worked out a little bit harder, something like that. But as far as the days before the fight, I think his preparation didn't change. It was the same one. I think Bud Crawford definitely did some things differently this fight to ensure that he was going to win this fight and be his normal self in the ring. I've never been high on Earl Spence. I've always been criticized for that.
That's true. I give you that.
But I always saw mistakes that I just knew that if anybody was better out there and he fought against, they were going to expose. I was even afraid when he was like, he's finna step up and fight Canelo. I'm like, well, he's finna step up and get whooped. Because I just not saying he's trash.
Yeah, he's not trash.
Certain fighters with certain IQs were going to figure this out.
Yeah.
Very easily and very, very easily. Because those mistakes you're making, you can make those mistakes on Ugas, on a fading Sean Porter. I don't care what you're saying. He was in good shape, but by the time that he fought him, Sean Porter was already looking out the window. He might have still been in shape.
That one knockdown is the deciding factor of that fight.
He would have won it. Yeah, he would have won that fight.
Sean probably would have won that fight if it wasn't for that one knockdown.
Charles said that if he had just prepped a little bit better, he would have got that one knockdown. So this is my thing here. You can make fundamental mistakes as long as your opposition is not strong enough or smart enough to catch it. But if your opposition can catch those mistakes that you're making, and I mean from, like you said, the flat-footed, the simple combinations. Last night I was thinking, the night before the fight I was thinking, or maybe I heard somebody say it, but then I expounded on it thinking, this is Tim Duncan in boxing form. This is fundamentals. This is the plain face. I'm getting out here. I'm doing this right here. Can you stop it? Chances are you can't, because I'm doing it perfect. But like I kept saying, the only reason I saw Crawford beating him is because when it came down time to make adjustments, Crawford would be the one making the adjustments. Spence was not going to be able to make any adjustments he never had before.
Make none.
And that's what I was getting attacked on. I just kept going, well, then just show me one fight where he made an adjustment and we can, and I will change my mind because I wanted to root for the hometown guy. But I didn't have that reason why. I just kept saying, I just don't see him making adjustments. And then when it happened last night, he got in trouble. I was able to talk as loud as I wanted to because I'm like, look at him, he's not going to make an adjustment. And he got up and did not make an adjustment.
He didn't change nothing.
Nothing. Even when he was getting battered and getting hit into the ropes, he still was coming back with, come on, dude. Yeah. 1-2 shot again. I mean, by this time, it's almost like it was jab, left hook. I don't want to say sad. It wasn't sad.
It was sad to watch, bro. It was sad to watch.
It was like
I wasn't expecting that.
Derek James, are you going to tell him something?
Didn't tell him nothing.
Like tackle him in the middle of the ring. I don't know to tell him something. You know what I mean? I heard the fight party. You know what I mean? The people fighting that was ringside, that was usually doing all the screaming for Spence, they got quiet. I always say this one thing right here. Mm-hmm. People let you down when you need them the most. When you winning, they out there screaming and hollering like crazy. You don't need them to tell you how good you're doing when you clowning somebody.
Yep.
But when you getting your butt whooped and you need to hear from your people,
and they quiet.
Somebody and your people saying, "Come on, man, get up, fight." You quiet, yeah, bro. Come on, man. That lack of what we used to hearing that I didn't hear, that's why I kept saying, where's his two sisters at? Remember I kept saying that?
Yeah.
Where's his sisters at? Because they are always showing sisters supporting him when the fight going on. But this time around, I'm sorry, Crawford people looking like
Charlo wasn't doing. He was talking more to Crawford than he was the Spence.
You know what I mean?
And that was my favorite part of the night. That's what low key made me happy that Crawford was doing what he was doing. That's the only thing that really made me happy was because he kept talking to us as Charlo, and I'm like, he told Charlo that Charlo is next.
Yeah.
He told him, I'm gonna wipe the floor with it, and I'm gonna get you. Yeah. He said it.
Now, I've always thought Crawford was too small to step up and fight a Charlo.
That's what everybody said.
Last night, I hope I don't eat crow about this, man, but last night it changed my mind a little bit and showed me that I think he can at least get in there and hang with that weight class. Now, I don't know how he's going to act at that weight class, so I'm not going to put any prediction on it right now. I'm going to say what I always say. I'm going to stay safe. Charlo, you step up to Charlo, he ain't going to let you step up and beat him. I'm going to say that right now. My mind may change if the fight get announced. You know what I mean? But right now, I'm just going to say, you ain't finna step up to my weight class, you know what I mean, and just whoop me. It ain't going to be that easy. Hopefully, that's the mentality that a Charlo got. Hopefully.
I mean, I think that is, Charlo think he can beat anybody, but Charlo got to get past Canelo.
And boy, I don't care what you say. People saying Charlo going to win this fight. That's because they have let Bivol knock down their thinking of what Canelo's skills are. Yeah. Hey man, I think he's going in the hardest fight of his life, and the chances of me going against Canelo is shoot. I ain't going against Canelo. I don't care. Yeah, not at his weight class. When he stepped up the Bivol, I could go against him the second time around. The first time I didn't, but you fighting at Canelo's weight class, I'm thinking he's thinking the same thing. I just said about the other. You ain't finna step up to my weight class and beat me. It ain't finna happen, now.
Yeah, the thing about Canelo,
I'm cherry picking you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Canelo came to him.
Yeah,
Canelo signed the contract like, oh, I'm fighting you, I'm fighting you, and I'm fighting you. That's what Canelo did. So Canelo said he tired of the talk. Let's sign a new contract. 3 fights. I'm fighting you, and you. Now what's up?
Let's do it.
Now you can't run because I didn't sign the contract under your people.
Yeah. What can you say? Let's do it. So yeah. So we both agree on that. So while he was bantering with Charlo, I think in my mind though, that's like the highest form of disrespect. That you in this so-called high profile fight against me, and you have the mind, you have enough space in your head to look over and start bantering with somebody that's not even fighting you
on the ropes.
I'm leaving you that much space in your mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can relax. Come on, bro. That says a lot about the moment that was happening.
That's what I'm saying. He was so calm. He was like just, and then look, after the second round knockdown, which was a jab, by the way.
Yeah.
A right jab put Spence down. Those jabs were crazy, but he's right-handed. He just fights southpaw.
Yeah.
And he came out immediately. He never did traditional stance at all. Yeah. He came out immediately southpaw, and I was
I say he was gonna switch his stance.
Yeah.
Once at least, and then stick with it.
Never
he
did.
Came out.
And he came out early and was like, "This is what we doing." So
okay. Did you see the moment? Or can you recall when that tooth got knocked out, man?
No, I don't remember.
That tooth got
I remember you saying it, but I don't remember.
Lost the tooth. You know, last night. Bruh. Like seriously, yeah. You heard me say. You know, what I mean, his mouthpiece got knocked out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they just kept fighting.
It didn't. Yeah. I thought it was, but then when the referee didn't go over to it, I said, okay, well maybe it wasn't his mouthpiece, but that was his tooth. Because at the press conference, like I said, at the press conference, when he was walking off, they filmed him walking off and hugging his family up. You could clearly see he was missing one of the front ones. So you know, my man got to get the veneers put back in, right? You know, but that's messed up, dog. Cause everything. Hold on, I just went black. Hold on.
Oh yeah, your screen.
I forgot I got a screensaver on. Yeah. Hold on. So everything that come on now. What's going on here?
Hey, we can still see you, so we good.
Oh, you can? Oh, okay, good, okay. Yeah, so
you just dark now.
Yeah. Everything that happened to Earl in this fight was like stuff that you could take one or two of those things happening during a fight
Yeah.
And you can continue to go on. But all of it happened to him last night. Everything that he feared, like you said, the Ugas fight, he thought his teeth got knocked out. He actually went after them. You know what I mean? That's how he claimed he got struck by Ugas. Point, though.
That is how he got hit.
Ugas caught him. Back in that, I kept telling y'all, Ugas caught him back in the day. That's the reason Matthews got knocked out, because he got hit right here a little harder than what he was expecting.
He got hit.
Reaction when he spit that mouthpiece out. I keep saying that, dog. I don't care what nobody say. You got caught, but neither here or there. You know what I mean? So last night, the tooth came out. You was fighting a guy who you was waiting to switch stances on you, and he did not switch stances. He stayed in the stance that was obviously all night long. You thought you were stronger than him. He showed you that in the first round. Second round, when he pushed him. Second round.
Third round. So that's what I was about to get to. So Spence came back strong third round. Started the third round. He put the pressure on Bud. He was hitting Bud with body shots in the corner, bagging him up, and Bud just kind of like taking the round off, trying to see, okay, this is how you go fight. Let's see if we can take some of your punches. Let's see what you got. He caught Bud with a left hook, flush, and Bud did not get phased at all. And we looked at each other, and we was like, this is over. Once we saw that left hook hit Bud, and Bud said it himself. He was talking to Stephen A. Smith in the locker room. He said, yeah, somewhere early in the fight, he caught me flush with a left hook, and I looked at him like, this is it? And he said, after he hit me with that, I was like, it's over for him.
When I heard that, I said, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, because we literally looked at each other, was like, you saw that hook, right? Like, he caught him flush, and Bud stood there, and we was like, this fight is over, because now he's comfortable.
He caught him flush.
And then Bud started going forward. He went forward the rest of the fight.
I think you said when he got caught flush, and I was like, he caught him with that left. He better be careful with that left. I think you actually said, and he ate that.
I told you. I said, bro, Bud was not phased by that left hook, and he caught him flush. And I told you, I said, yo, this fight is over. I didn't even say it after the second round, after he got knocked down. I said, after he took that hook and nothing happened to him, I was like, this is over. Like
when I thought that Crawford had got stunned and knocked into the rope, and then all of a sudden you seen Errol Spence flailing down to the ground.
That right hook, that right uppercut.
That's when I was like, there's no chance of this. Nothing that's going to turn around. You know what I mean? I was like, this is not even going to be a good looking fight no more. This is going to be just a straight wash.
That right uppercut, and he caught him so quick, bro. I didn't even see it. I thought he just fell.
I didn't see it either. I thought Crawford got hit.
He did get hit, but he caught him with the uppercut. Like it was that right was, man. That boy counter punching is
that was a counter punch, man. That was out of this world right here. You know, how does that make you feel? Like seriously, because we put Errol Spence on this platform to see him get dominated in that fashion.
Mm-hmm. But we got.
He didn't dominate. He didn't dominate a 50% Sean Porter that bad.
No, Sean Porter was winning the fight.
You see what I mean? He didn't dominate a 50%.
He didn't. Gamboa put up a better fight than Spence.
Gamboa, shoot, you can name off. You can just round them off now.
Yeah, really, all of them.
I don't understand how he looked that bad, unless it's true what everybody's saying. It caught up to him. The alcohol, the drugs, the everything else. Caught up to him. Just like you said, the weed caught up.
He walked in there looking like he was high or drained or shocked.
You can't live like Adrian Broner going against the Terence Crawford.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
And this is when I said, okay, trainer, even though he's the trainer of the year, what's his name? Derek, is it Jackson?
Derek
James. Yeah. He got to go. Because he didn't tell him nothing the whole fight. Bro, we sitting there watching this, and I told you from the second round, he got to go, bro. And really, beforehand,
I tried to defend him.
You did. And look, beforehand, when he walked in, we saw Spence walked in, we looking like, he don't look right. Something ain't right?
Don't look right.
Bud is wrapping his own hands. He just chilling. He got this focused look. Then the Cruz fight is happening, right? Which he won, and Cruz, man, whatever. I ain't even gonna get into him tonight. But
But I did pick Cruz to win. But
yeah, whatever, man. He should have
I'm
lost.
starting to, like, really not, I'm starting to cool on him now. I'm like, man.
I've been cool on Cruz, so
Yeah.
you know Ryan Garcia wants Cruz now, so whatever. I don't.
He can have him and beat him.
Yeah, whatever on that. So Bud is wrapping his hands. We get to the Cruz fight. They go to the locker room again, like they normally do. Spence is sitting alone, and he's just mouthpiece been in his mouth for about an hour and a half at this point. Like, who? First of all, when has any boxer put their mouthpiece in their mouth that long and just stood there and just sat down?
Because he's trying to get used to it being in his mouth, which means you ain't been training with this mouthpiece in your mouth. You got this mouthpiece specially made just for this fight, but you hadn't even spent any time with it there.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
So literally for hours, Spence had his mouthpiece in his mouth because when Charlo visited him, he had the mouthpiece in his mouth. Jerry Jones came to his locker room, he had the mouthpiece in his mouth. And he had the white beat on. Yeah, Jerry Jones in the locker room, and he had the mouthpiece.
Oh, you did this in front of Jerry Jones.
Dude, Jerry Jones saw Spence when Jerry Jones was in there. He was waiting on Spence. Spence was just sitting there looking. You remember that dazed look we saw him?
Yeah.
When he was sitting, Jerry Jones in the locker room. And then when they cut back to his locker room again, he's sitting by himself. I'm like, yo, the fight is over. The Cruz fight is over. You need to be. He's sitting by himself. He's sitting by himself, and he just doing this, and he just looks zoned out. We like, bro, either he's scared, or he's high, or he's like something is going on with him. And why is nobody talking to him right now? And then, of course, they cut the Crawford's locker room right after that. Crawford's hitting the pads. Crawford ready to go.
He's in there hitting the pads. You know what I mean? Come on, bro.
And then, okay, so moving forward, the ring walk. Stupid song, by the way, trash. Ring walk go out, and you see it in his eyes, his face. Spence does not have a confident look in his face at all. So again, I'm thinking either he's high. Everybody on social media is like he's high, and I'm like either he's high, he's drained for trying to make weight, which I thought he looked great doing like the weigh-in, the press conference, and all that. So I didn't want to put that one on him.
I was like, if you want to, but his face was skinny as hell that last press conference.
Yeah, but I was like, either he's high, he's drained, or he's scared. Like, yo, we've been talking all these years, but I actually do have to get in the ring with this guy.
Okay, there you go.
That's like
now you just got my feeling right there.
Yeah,
the day is finally here, and I'm not up for it.
Like, yeah, I'm walking to the ring like this is actually about to happen. I actually have to fight him now. Like, this is no more talking and build up. I actually have to get in the ring with. So I'm thinking it's one of those. Either he was high, because he looked high walking in the arena.
He looked like I took an edible yesterday and it was too strong and still on me.
Yeah, and then he looked like he was looking in the crowd, and he kind of had this look like the lights was too bright for him. And I'm like, you know what? Let's compare it. So today I was like, let's compare this to his other ring walks. I compared it to his last fight against Ugas. Completely different guy. His fight before that against Danny Garcia. Completely different ring walk.
Face looked fresh.
Yeah. He's jumping up and down, pumping the gloves, hitting his chest. Spence wasn't doing. He slow walked to a trash song, and he did like I'm really here. Like, this is about to happen. Ring. Yeah.
He really hesitated for, and for real, they stopped. Now Crawford them stopped because it was time for the mental games now.
Crawford was waiting on Eminem too.
Get to this ring, you know what I mean, and mess with your head and take up time and have you up in there getting cold. But you saw it, man. There was a hesitation. I'm not saying he was scared, but there was like not a normal procession to the ring.
It wasn't a normal Spence walk, man. Like, he wasn't. I don't know what's going on. Maybe we'll find out, later on down the line. But
after it's over with,
or he'll get on somebody's podcast and say something. Yeah, man, that fight, man, it was. Then he'll tell us the truth. But Spence wasn't right, man. But
like Mike Tyson told us before the Douglas fight, basically he didn't train at all. He was having sex as part of it, doing okay.
And Lennox Lewis versus Rockman, he didn't train. Yeah. But this is the biggest fight of the century, or one of the biggest fights, not the biggest fight, but
we've had a couple. Yeah.
So this is up there with Pacquiao and Mayweather, and you come to the ring like that, you sit in the back like that, And then when Jim, what's his name? Jimmy, is it Leonard? What's the guy name to do the mic, the interview?
Lennon, but you done messed me up now.
Yeah, like
Jimmy Lennon.
So when he interviewed Spence, and he asked Spence. Now he on that part, he really looked high. Eyes red, was low. When he was sitting down getting interviewed, no, before the fight. You know when they go and interview both of them in the locker room.
You see, I missed that.
Yeah, I went back and watched that this morning, and when I saw that, I was like, you know what? That man is high.
And if this dude got in the ring high, bro, man.
Go to the Showtime Twitter and just scroll down.
Because you know I'm gonna go out over there.
Because I did all that stuff today. That's all I was doing was just comparing and watching stuff. So when he did that locker room interview, because Crawford did his first. Crawford was wrapping his hands. He was focused, and he went to Spence. Spence was just sitting there. So he was just looking like this, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't see," because we didn't see that last night. You know, but everybody was talking and stuff. We didn't see that last night. So
this dude got his stupid butt in that ring, man, on any type of.
Bro, go watch that interview, and I bet you'll be like, he's high. So he's asking him. He say, "Oh, Spence, you know, this is your first time with a big fight. Do you think the rust is gonna factor in?" Spence like, "I don't think the rust is gonna factor in at all." You know, he kind of talk like that anyway. Yeah, but still,
I hate the way he talk.
Yeah, he talk like that anyway. But still, if you looking at his face,
like straight up backwoods.
If you looking at his face and the way his eyes moving, and he just kind of like that the whole time, and they red, and Jimmy's looking right dead at him like, okay.
I believe you, bro.
So I think he was high. That's my final verdict on that. It could be one of three things, but I think he was high.
You think he was high?
I think he was high.
I just think basically
it's legal in Vegas.
Earlier, I think what we said earlier, that one point makes a point to me, because I always think this is something I always think about. Boxers, you know, you prep, but what if, you know, that one night you get up there is the bad night? Well, if that's the night you obviously you had a migraine all day long, you can't get rid of. You know, what if something happened that day that making you not be the person you was 2 days ago?
Yeah,
ready to fight, and now you got to fight now.
You got to
get in the ring, and you know, Sean Porter said that something happens. He said he's never had that. He said he's thought about having a bad day, and all he said, but something every time he went, he said he can't use that excuse because whatever was going on earlier, by the time it's time to fight, he was always ready to go. I think last night
you playing with your life.
I would like to say that he had a bad night last night, and like you said, after all the talking, it's finally here, and now I got to get in this ring.
Like, I really got to face this guy now.
I really got to get in this.
Like, this is not a joke. This is not a video game. I really have to face this guy. We've been doing this since 2019.
But it's always been Crawford doing the majority of the showing up and majority of the now I'm in your face. And Spencer's always acted like the star dealing with a person that's trying to get a fight with him. He really has.
It was a little disrespectful, but at the same time, people kept saying, why is Spence the A-side? First of all, don't talk after the fight. Spence was the A-side because Spence had 3 of the 4 belts. Simple.
Straight up.
Like,
and had fought. I don't care what you say. Fought the
better resume.
You know what I mean? Yes, he has. He has. So he deserved to be the A-side if I hear him. But as you saw last night, A-side's got to be earned.
Yeah.
Mayweather fought De La Hoya, he wasn't the A-side, but after the fight, he was the A-side.
From the end of his career. And still to this day.
You got to do those things to make a difference. You know what I mean? Crawford last night, he wiped out everybody that we've seen in the past couple months. He's wiped out the Haney's. He's wiped out the Tank Davis. He's wiped out the Shakurs. As far as in our minds, who's the best? He's wiped out the
pound for pound.
Yeah. He's totally leveled it. And this time it's gonna stick. Yeah. Because of the way he won his fight.
It was
against the person that we thought was
at least okay.
Was a wall.
Yeah, if you're not the better boxer, at least will yourself to a fight.
We thought that the way that he did him, to see Earl Spence flaring around after getting hit and going to the ground and canvas like that.
Off of jabs, man. Bro. The jabs was messing him up.
To look like Hitch when he got, bit by the bee or whatever it was that made his face allergic. Say, man, I'm telling you, bro, when I seen that face, that comparison of pictures.
They got the similar hairstyle too.
Yeah, dude, it almost looked like they designed Hitch's face off of Earl Spencer's. You know what I mean?
Man.
From the eye and everything, man. I couldn't believe it. Earl Spencer has swollen ears.
Yeah.
That was a thorough ass whooping, man. That like we both were discussing, like Roy Jones said and somebody else said, was it Charleston White said, that plastic surgery might have had a lot to do with that. I agree, but at the same time, I ain't seen that plastic surgery work right there in them other fights.
He wasn't getting rocked like. Well, he got hit with Ugas, but he wasn't getting rocked that much, that consistently.
Maybe. And maybe it is 2 years off and the plastic surgery together, because they say boxers' faces got to get used to getting hit.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You
lay off, your face kind of gets back to so who knows? Man, that's true.
That's why I'm so mad at myself, because common sense, like, this man ain't fought in 2 years, man.
I don't know why you changed, because we were both on the same side. We both
I don't know why I changed either, bro. But it's too many common sense factors that said I should have stayed with Bud. I don't know, bro. I can't. I don't know, bro.
I actually told my son.
I don't know.
Friday night, my son asked me that I changed my mind, because I was talking good about Spence. He said, "So you want for Spence now?" I said, "No, I'm not. I'm sticking with my pick. I'm sticking with Crawford." I said, because whatever I was thinking back then, I know that I've been thinking it for years. So I'm gonna stick with what I was thinking about it, not change off my emotion. But I told him the same thing I've been saying. If Spence was to win and prove me wrong, I would be very excited. You know what I mean? Because you want to go for the hometown guy. I got Spence memorabilia, man. You know what I mean? I got a beer bottle that he was signed and everything with his picture on it. I was like, come on, bro. But I just knew, just like you knew, man. You knew it, man. You knew it. It just wasn't gonna. The miracle wasn't gonna happen if Crawford was Crawford. If Crawford came in there lethargic and acting different, then we might have seen something different. But if Crawford is Crawford,
that's the most focused I've seen him.
You get what you get. Yeah, because he didn't get knocked down. But he didn't get nobody a chance.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Now, just in his eyes and the way he was talking and moving, that was the most focused I've ever seen him for a fight.
He fought like Shakur to me. To me, Shakur is what I call a damn perfect boxer. I think that, like I keep saying, I think Shakur is going to be the winner in the end of all these new guys or whatever. I don't, prove me wrong. I really doubt that you will be able to prove me wrong. Shakur is going to end up beating everybody. I don't care what you say. He's going to beat Tank. I already know what you're thinking is. Don't do that. I know what you're thinking.
All right.
He's going to beat Tank. I'm telling you, man. Shakur is not Haney. I don't have that type of faith in Haney, especially the way he fought that last fight.
Mm-hmm.
With barely any adjustments. I'm telling you, adjustments make a fighter.
Man,
Mayweather said he didn't even train for the fighter he was fighting. He trained to be ready for any style. So that when they got in there, he took a little bit to figure you out. I'm making my adjustments now, and now I'm finna beat you. You can't tell me that that's not a plan for success.
Yeah, he said he didn't watch film at all.
That's how Klitschko got beat by Tyson Fury, because Klitschko kept telling him, you do the same move. And Klitschko basically said, yeah, I do, but nobody can stop it. Can you stop it? He said that. He said, you're going to come with the jab, straight right. Jab, straight right. He said, yeah. Now, can you stop the jab, straight right? That's what he actually said to Tyson Fury in the press conference. But can you stop that? Because I'm going to come out here and do my jab, and straight right. Mm-hmm. And he said, and you're going to have to find a way to beat that. And Tyson Fury had to figure that out. And that's what I think we got here last night. Well, I don't think we got that last night. Because we both agree now that wasn't the Spence that we expected.
Not at all. He looked slow.
Yeah.
He looked slow. Surprisingly, he looked weak. Like, it just, that's...
lot weaker than what I don't want to give no excuses, man. I'm trying to do no excuses. I'm trying not to. Man, he looked weak last night.
He looked weak and slow. Yeah. And I never looked at Spence as a fast guy anyway, but he looked slower than normal.
Now, is Crawford really that good to make you look that slow?
Crawford not even that fast, in my opinion.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because we grew up watching Floyd, Sugar Shane, Zav. We talking about some real speed, Roy.
Speed.
And Crawford is just I always looked at him as just a solid, overall, complete boxer. I never looked at him as a speed guy. Power, I said he had power. I never looked at Crawford as a speed guy.
Never that. And you know what? Like I say, he ain't got no Caleb Plant left hand speed. But you know what I mean? But now I'm gonna say that's the fastest left in the world.
Jeez.
But just like you, I thought he's all skills.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say I would rather say power, because even though the point is made, he's knocked out his last 10 to 11 people. I don't.
He's ran through that whole division.
To me, it's always been a accumulation of, of whooping your ass. It's never just been I'll come out there and start you type of food. As far as power go, I never thought about it, heavily until last night. And now I'm starting to think that when he wants to apply power, you know what I mean? He can really apply power when he wants to. And I think last night he got into that ring and thought to myself, I'm not going to play with Earl. I'm not going to get in here and do my normal thing of figuring out. I'm going to take it straight.
Yeah, you can't afford to.
You know what I mean?
If you're thinking we're going to get the Earl that we thought we was going to get, you can't afford to.
Can't afford to, yeah. And I think that's exactly what happened. He thinking I'm finna get Earl Spence.
Yeah, he didn't get Earl Spence last night.
You got Earl Jr.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who he got last night, but that wasn't Spence. And now look, they both pretty much said 154 for the rematch, and a lot of people like, who want to see them? I want to see it at 154 for reasons that we talked about. Spence didn't look like Spence. Now, if Spence come in and he look like Spence that we know, and he still lose, then okay, bet. But I got to see this again. I got to know for sure if it was something going on with Spence for real, or is Bud really that much better?
It's gonna come out in the wash. You know it is. Just like what we found, what we were talking about earlier when I had just found out.
I gotta know
about the whole wreck and the reason why the wreck happened. You told me you had already heard about that.
Mm-hmm.
So you're one of the people that Charles and I was talking about when you say people in Dallas. I already know.
We know
what happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I try not to give into rumor, but on that one right there, that's kind of okay. So now we know that's true right there. What happened? The reason why he was why he had been wrecked. Roy Jones said, no matter who you are, you get your butt thrown out of a car at 100 miles per hour.
You're not the same.
You ain't gonna be the same fight no matter what. And so did we get robbed of whatever he was potentially going to be through straight up nonsense? And then him not taking care of himself afterwards like he should, with the recreationals and and the party, and he said he bought the ranch to get away from that. Apparently that didn't work. You know what I mean? So
it looked like he went to Vegas and got back on it.
That's why I was just gonna say, did he go to Vegas? And like I said, did he pop an edible? Did you pop an edible early in the day and thought, well, by the time the fight come around, this will be faded away and I'll be good? You know what I mean? Dude.
Yeah, did you take something and be like, oh, this not gonna hurt as much if I'm high? Like, man, all right, man, if I'm high, it ain't gonna hurt as much.
It's gonna take a while for us to know the truth, man, but we both can say something was definitely off. And I'm gonna say more than your mental.
Some was off, dog, but that's why I said that reason alone. I gotta see this again, and I hope it's at 154 because even Bud was like, "Yeah, we'll make him 147." In your 30s, you can't. That's hard to do.
I think it's 154. I think it's definitely the next natural move, and I think they both are at a point to where. Well, I think Bud is definitely at a point to where I don't want to fight too many other people on my way out. I just clowned you. I'll take another fight with you and make a couple more millions right quick at 154.
Then I'm gonna take CHARLO out.
Break myself for one, and then then
maybe Ennis, and that's it.
That's it. Booth ain't gonna get no fight, man. I don't care what you say. I don't.
Why the only person calling out Keith Thurman is Clarissa Shields? She the only one won't smoke with him. Everybody else ain't saying nothing. But okay.
Keith Thurman is a mouthpiece and should be a commentator. He should be a color.
But Keith Thurman needs he needs a fight.
Okay.
Shut him up. If he's talk, shut him up then. Just shut him up and get him out of there.
See, people like you. I'm trying to tell you now.
But you can't. It's not easy to shut Keith Thurman up. That's why they ain't doing it. That's why they not risking it, because they know
it's gonna be a fight.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
It's gonna be a fight. But Keith Thurman, at the same time, he could have been fighting other people while he's waiting for whoever to fight.
That's true.
And that's what I'm saying. So you take too much time off in between. So yeah, I'll take that challenge, man. Because you took too much time off, and your last fight was that Pacquiao?
I think so, dog. I think so.
I'll take that fight, man. I'm taking that fight, man. I'll take that fight, man.
Keith Thurman should fight Adrian Broner or something first.
Yeah, because I don't think your heart is in it no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think your mouth is in it and your head going, I still got some money to make in boxing.
Yeah.
But as far as your heart go, I think you want to be a commentator.
But yeah.
Sit down and commentate fights, man.
Let's get into the aftermath. Roy Jones, they asked him, and Roy went on almost a personal rant. It was like, look, back in the day, you know what I'm saying? I said Bud was gonna beat Crawford. I said Bud was gonna beat Spence, and Spence took it personally. And I'm saying I love both of them, you know what I'm saying? But he took it personally, and I'm like, don't take it personally. You know how Roy talk. Don't take it personally. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying he the better boxer.
So, he talk like he moving.
Yeah,
like
he's moving. I'm just saying he the better boxer. Like he's still weaving while he like he in the ring talking. I'm just saying he the better boxer. So you know what I'm saying? So Roy is funny, dog. That's my guy, bro. But Roy is like,
but yeah, he did say he took it personally. So
yeah, and he was like, look, you shouldn't take this fight because the things that we know about you as a boxer, the same mistakes that you make, it's not gonna work with a Terence Crawford. So Roy said what we said. We know about the mistakes. We're not boxers. We average people, and we can call out your mistakes. So we know boxers can call out your mistakes, right?
Remember what you said. Remember what you said that Bud said to him. He said, "I know what you've been doing. You need to stop."
Yeah.
Remember that? He told him that when they met backstage and they was getting each other's face. He said, "I know what you've been doing, so you need to stop. You try to fight me like you ain't living clean, and you finna get into the ring with me. I'm living clean. You know what I mean?"
Yeah.
So shoot, man, Roy Jones, man. I think Roy Jones called it. He called it right because he's a boxer and he know everything that's going on.
Yep.
Boxers know the secrets and what you're doing in your real personal life.
Yeah. So Roy called it, and he tried to say he like it's nothing personal. I love both, but we if you're looking at boxing skills, Terence Crawford is on a different level. Okay, Roy called it. Timothy Bradley called it, and he was like, look. Said the same thing.
Bradley was going crazy.
Yeah, because apparently he got hate for calling. He was like, look, I'm telling you, he said the same thing. Spence is flat-footed a lot. He lunges in a lot. He's easy. Spence could get countered. That's what he said. Yeah. Who else called it? Canelo called it. He said Crawford. For the same reason, Spence lunges in. He's off balance a lot. He's flat-footed. He could get caught. I don't know if Keith Thurman predicted it, but after the fight, Thurman was like, bro, what did you expect to happen when Spence, again, flat-footed? Yeah. Everybody is saying the same thing. He's flat-footed. He lunges in, and he said Spence never fought an actual boxer. That's what he said. He said Spence never fought an athlete.
He had nobody that was actually skilled, changing the box in front of your face.
Yeah, so that's a couple of fights. That's Thurman. Antonio Tarver went off on a couple of videos. He said exactly what I said. I'm like, if I could call it out, I know a boxer could call it out, right? The trainer of the year. You are the one that I told you early, bro. I said he needs another trainer, especially if he's trying to take a rematch with Crawford, because this not gonna work for a couple of reasons. Yeah. From the locker room, you letting him sit alone in the locker room, glaring off, dazed. And he just looks out of it, and before the biggest fight, his biggest fight ever.
Y'all were too relaxed for me.
Yeah, you're not talking to him. In the middle of the fight, you're not telling him to make adjustments, and he didn't know how to make adjustments at all.
I don't think he knew how to tell him.
Yeah, so everybody's lost. Spence didn't know what to do. Tarver said, he said, man, the fact that his defense was that bad alone he needs another trainer for that alone. And he said the fact that they're lying to their boxers. People lie to their boxers all the time, and he feels like, I don't know how to break it down exactly what he feels, but he was saying somewhere what we're saying, like, we knew that man wasn't right, and we knew something was going on with him, and y'all told him everything was fine. And then when in the fight was happening, he's getting beat up, you're still telling him everything is fine.
Everything is fine. Yeah, like he was telling him. Yeah, like when I remember at one point I did listen to what he was saying in the corner, like about the fourth round, something like that. He was telling him simple stuff like, "Need to get the jab out there for it." Whoa, that ain't happening.
The jab is over. They killed the jab early.
It's not gonna happen. So can we get another? Can you tell him something else? Okay, let's abandon the jab. Let's try this right here. Where was the body attack?
The whole fight, it was double jab, overhand left.
Yes, where was the sustained, famous Errol Spence body attack? That's why I said at one point in the fight, I was like, where's the body attack? Why is he not going to the body? And I don't care the few body shots he did after a while, You see him do a few combinations and going for the body. Second, he got tapped again, abandoned.
He went back. He was gone.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. He didn't come out like Errol Spence coming up on you and body shotting you.
Yeah, and that's what Tyson said before the fight. Tyson said the only way you're gonna beat him, a counter puncher like Terence Crawford, he said you gotta put so much pressure on him that way he can't counter you.
Yeah.
And that's what he said. Tyson was like, that's the only way Spence is gonna beat him. You gotta put enough pressure on him to where he can't counter you. He's not comfortable to counter you.
He made it a breeze.
Yeah, because and then I think it was Thurman that said, I think it was Tarver that said, we found out he can't box on the outside.
Yeah, he did say that. Yes, he did say that. He said
he can't box on the outside at all.
But when Tarver said it, if I click in my head like, oh yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
He can't. All his fights has been the same.
Coming inside and getting up in there, and like I was saying, basically trading punches with you while and barely blocking.
Yeah.
If you look at some of his fights, that's another thing I've always said. The reason why I knew that skill level of Crawford, because you leave yourself open too much, you take too many shots. Crawford do take some shots, but he ain't sitting there letting you just key off on him. Errol Spence puts himself in a position to where you can, if you can get there, you can tee off on him a few. And that's what Eric did. That's all Bud was doing last night. He was actually teeing off on him, man. Yeah. He's hitting them on the side.
He was comfortable. Man. He was comfortable the whole fight. So,
chilling.
Yeah, if they fight again, I feel like it'll be I feel like if we get the Spence that I think we're gonna get, it's gonna be how I thought this fight was gonna go. Spence, but I don't know. Bud might attack now because Bud ain't scared of him now.
He ain't scared.
So
he ain't scared of him. I think Bud was a very aggressive person.
Yeah, I expect Spence, if they do fight again, especially at 154, which he's begging for. If they fight again, Spence is gonna be ready. I think it's gonna be will versus skill. So it's will versus skill.
Very good way to say that. Will versus skill.
If he don't fire his trainer, he's gonna lose again.
Yeah. If he doesn't fire his trainer, which he will not, and we'll see him lose.
Especially by December.
We'll see him lose. He's not gonna change. No, he's gonna stay with the same.
So
he's not gonna change, and he's gonna be in the gym. Now, 3 losers. Not saying he's a loser for life because he can bounce back. He just ain't gonna be Bud Crawford.
Your camp is Ryan Garcia, who just got it. he got exposed. We already knew his weakness. And then Anthony Joshua, who we knew his weakness, and you bring them to your camp while Bud is training with Keyshawn Davis and Shakur and these other dogs, and undefeated dogs.
You're gonna train those 2 guys to recognize their flaws and how to overcome their flaws, and you left Earl out there with no defense.
That's nothing.
Anthony Johnson's gonna get knocked out by somebody.
That's what Tarver said. He said, "Yo, if you sparring and it's no competition and it's just easy every time you sparring, and they just telling you good, you got a problem." And he was like, "I'm trying to talk to these guys. They won't let me talk to them." He said, "But if Spence was sparring this whole time and everybody was like, oh, this is so easy, he has nobody to make him uncomfortable." He said that's a problem. So
real problem.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. I think it's you get to a certain point and they start catering to you at the gym. They don't want to see you too many, bad guys. They want to get you a good workout in, but they don't want to work you. You know what I mean?
Tarver said you're supposed to be uncomfortable. This is an uncomfortable. This is an uncomfortable sport. He's supposed to be uncomfortable. He was never uncomfortable, and they lied to him.
That was a real good point right there. That's a real good point.
Yeah. So once he got in the ring, he was uncomfortable, and he didn't know what to do because he's never been uncomfortable before.
Sean Portman used to, when they couldn't get a fight, they would actually have a fight in his gym. Like a real fight with no cameras or nothing. He'd have a real live fight right there, you know what I mean? And go to 12 rounds and fight against a live person. Yeah. And sometimes he was fighting against other boxers and they just didn't want to let us know who it was. But he was having real fights, man. That would trip me out. I don't know if I think Errol Spence needs some intense training like that. He probably needs a Kenny Porter or somebody like that in his corner. Like we said last night, what was Kenny Porter to stop that fight? This 6th round.
6th round, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was definitely like, that fight needs to be stopped early. I thought I was the only one screaming that. I watched the guy, the one guy I watched called Showbiz, man. Showbiz the adult. And he was screaming it out 6th round too, same thing. Stop the fight, stop the fight. I was doing the same thing.
Because now you got to protect the boxer. because he's not gonna quit.
When he's your first superstar, that one that you and him, y'all the one you made your name off of. You got that father and son relationship. I think it's hard sometimes to not give him that chance. You know what I mean? It's hard to not give him a chance to come back and try to fight.
Yeah.
Give him a chance to try to turn it around. It's hard. Especially when y'all seeing this happen for the first time and you ain't got no answer for him.
Yeah.
That was sad that he had no answer for him, man.
He had 0 answers and it just looked bad from jump, man. But
he should have been able to say something.
Yeah, but we're getting to some more stuff. We went way longer than I wanted to, but we had a lot to talk about.
I looking at the time like, whoa, man, we got it.
Yeah, but we had to. Yeah, it's whatever. It is what it is. But we're gonna come back to you earlier, so it won't be an hour and a half show.
Yeah.
And we'll keep it like 30-40 minutes like we normally do. But yeah, we had to get a lot out. There was a lot going on. There was a lot of stuff happening. A lot of people's talking. No, before we leave, hold on. One more thing, man. You people on Dallas on Facebook, your boxing analysts, and no, it's people being sensitive because people are saying, telling the truth. Spence got whooped, right?
Yeah.
That's just what it is. So people are saying Spence got whooped. Now you got a couple of Fort Worth people. You know how Fort Worth and Dallas is. That's talking noise. But other than that, people are just saying what everybody say. Once Wilder got whooped, they talked about Wilder. Once Roy lost his first fight. Well, social media had just started, I believe, when Roy lost.
But I remember because it was everywhere.
Yeah. So when Roy lost. And so on, right? They talk about every boxer in a big fight that loses a match. They talked about Pacquiao when he lost to Floyd, even though there wasn't a beatdown, but he still lost.
Yeah.
They talked about him when he got knocked out by Marquez. Yeah, all the memes for that one. But, this is social media. People are just going to talk. That's just what it is. That's trending. Man, these people so sensitive, man. See, the city of Dallas just turned on you. This is a fluky city, man. When you happen, man, shut up. Shut up. Ain't nobody turn. First of all, let's just call it what it is. I don't even want to put this business out in the street, but we got to put it out there. Half the people in Dallas are Mo3 fans.
Bruh.
Right?
Yes, they are.
So they low-key, so they hating on you off that alone because who you rock with. Right?
You are. Your camera froze.
Can you see me now?
Nope.
See, that's letting me know. See, I'm about to go there. That's letting me know it's time.
But let's just say real quick. Got some Mo3 fans in here, and everybody just like he was saying last night. People was talking about, they started talking about Mo3, talking about he's getting cursed.
Yeah.
What happened to Mo3? And I don't know about that right there.
Yeah, I'm not getting into all that.
I still say he got clowned last night by somebody who was ready to clown him.
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with his involvement in Mo3's whatever they say.
Yeah, I'm not getting into all that. But that's crazy. It froze as soon as I started talking about all that stuff. That's crazy how they do me. They be knowing, bro. They be knowing. Let me see. We back now.
He said they be knowing.
Dog, it's like they watching, bro. They be knowing, dog. They be knowing. That's crazy. But anyway, hold on. Let me start this up. But yeah. So half of Dallas are Mo3 fans, right? So
yeah, you see too. Boost was on there going ape shit.
Yeah, so you're dealing with that, and then no, it's just people talking. Ain't nobody turning nobody. Like, I'm still a Spence fan, but I was talking to us about him too.
I'm a Spence fan. I just thought he was gonna win this fight.
He got whooped. Like that. We just calling it what it is, bro. So you can't get mad and in your feelings. Oh, you talking about a black man from Dallas and this and that and this and that. Spence did this. Spence
they going there with it?
Yeah, bro. They getting super personal and it's trash to me. And I just want to tell y'all to shut up. Ain't nobody turning on nobody. The people that
been talking trash about Crawford if he lost.
Yeah, the people that like, yeah, exactly. The people that like Spence still like Spence. We still rock with Spence and we cheering for him for his next fight. If he, depending on who he fight, we cheering for him. We want him to win. We want the city, trust me, we want the city to have some champions because the Cowboys ain't doing nothing, the Mavericks ain't doing nothing. Bruh. The Rangers might do something. We'll see. I mean, we got the Arlington Renegades. Shout out to them. But
yeah, the I'm about to say, man, the XFL's doing well. The Dallas Wings keep getting win streaks snapped.
Yeah.
I don't understand that, but okay.
They lost to Vegas today, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, see, the camera know to turn me off. They knew I was about to go on a rant, man. But anyway, You Dallas people, man, you sensitive on social media because you got lost. Shut up, man.
Yeah.
Shut up. Don't nobody care.
But those are casual fans.
Yeah.
Boxing fans know this type of things happen. Fighting fans understand that these things happen. You know what I mean? To your favorite fighter, the whole chance that you're taking is, you know, your favorite fighter might get whooped out that night. You know, a lot of people just, I think if he had lost by a decision or something like that, they would have took it better. A lot of people don't want to see a guy get dominated the way he got dominated. That's just because that brings down what you thought of him. It brings it all the way down, man. You don't want to see him get treated in that manner.
Yeah, he got whooped, treated. Man.
Yeah,
but I mean, just dude, at the end of the day, he took an L. He made a lot of money, so that's a good thing right there. So he'll be back because he made a lot of money. And to the ones that keep talking about who will win a fight between Prime Floyd and Bud Crawford, you need to chill out. I'm sorry, you need to chill out because first of all, you need to really go back and watch Floyd to appreciate what Floyd did in his career and stop playing with me. And which Floyd are we talking about? We talking about ball fade Floyd or we talking about ball headed Floyd?
We talking about Money Mayweather. We talking about
because if we talking about low ball fade Floyd that took out Zab, that took out De La Hoya, that took out what's his name, Baldomir, that took out
I like the Baldomir fight.
Yeah, that took out Ricky Hatton when everybody was scared to fight him, and took out Corrales and Castillo and them. Stop this, man.
Actually, basically ended Ricky Hatton's career.
Yeah.
His next fight was
everybody knew what to do.
Yeah, he ended his career. I don't care what nobody said.
And Pacquiao hit him with the same punch Floyd with. Because Floyd gave you the blueprint.
When you get the trainer of the guy that beat you first to try to come and train you and change your whole style, and he comes there and BS's you the whole time. Yeah. Come on, bro, it's over with, man. That right there was a whole mess.
So y'all just need to chill out, man. I'm sorry, I love Bud. Bud is a beast, but y'all better go back and rewatch Floyd. Y'all better go stop playing now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go against Floyd.
Prime Floyd would have did the same to Spence last night. To that Spence that showed up last night. And it probably would have been worse because Prime Floyd
would have started showboating with his punches.
Yeah, it would have been Floyd Gotti all over again.
Because Crawford let up after the 6th round.
He didn't want to hurt his bro. That's what it was. And he thinking about a rematch too.
Floyd would have tried to take his head out.
I'm mad at my camera.
I move on to the next fight. You know what I mean? That's how Floyd would have thought. I'll make money on my next fight. Forget a rematch with you.
Yeah, I'm so mad my camera went off. Boy, that's trash. But anyway, it's time. Let's get up out of here, man. Shout out to everybody for watching this video, man, when it's uploaded on Dope Content and on YouTube, man. And you got something you want to promote before we get off?
Yeah, man. It's starting next week, man. I got my theme song I showed you.
Yeah.
So the podcast is now, you're not going to see Kevin Sony in there anymore. You're going to see Fighting Culture. Fighting Culture. It's the podcast I'm involved in some, mostly a lot of boxing talk, you know what I mean, a lot of MMA and stuff like that, but I'm also going to be doing a lot of pop culture because I like to talk pop culture. I'm always been fascinated with, the gossip talk. And but I want to approach it in a way that I approach it, which I'm mostly talking about it coming from a perspective of just the different age groups and how we all approach and see things. You know what I mean? And different age groups can be 2 years apart. And it's just like different things happen with different age groups and the way that they view things and stuff like that. So I think that all falls into our culture and the way that we all hold tight to what we call our actual culture. Like me, I'm a fight fan. So my coach is a fight fan. I understand that. When a casual gets into my world of being a fight fan, you know what I mean? There's going to be a clash there. Fighting culture, man. We're going to look at things differently, and I'm going to take other people's perspectives on things seriously. And we're going to talk about this thing, and work it out. But I'm going to talk fighting a lot too, so I had to put my fighting in there.
Well, there it is. Let's get into it, man. Make sure you follow him if you're not following. You'll see our YouTube channel this week popping up soon. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, it's gonna be pretty polished. I just didn't want to roll out a product with just one single camera because I feel like I have a lot of skills and knowledge that I've gained enough to present a better package for that. So I'm going to roll out, a pretty good package
Hey man, we're gonna just start hammering it out straight up.
I bet. Sound good. So since my camera want to cut me off in Twitch and all OBS, man, just trash. Whatever, man. We gonna end the show, man. Y'all have a good one, and until next time, man. We are out.
Oh yeah, you can say Undisputed on here too. Shut up.
You said Undisputed?
Yes, sir. Undisputed and Red Dead and Fallout.
All right, so now we are out. Make sure you don't throw nothing else out there.
I ain't got nothing else to throw in there.